Good day, good day, good day. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole. This is Siren Buddha Medicine. I'm also the Sacred Craftsman. Oh, there we go. I guess I wanted to talk about how we got here. How did we get here? Good day, family. Good day, family. Hey, much love to you. Hi, Robert. Much love to you and yours. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole, Siren Buddha Medicine, also your Sacred Craftsman. And today I want to talk about how we got here. I hear a lot of people, see a lot of people into what we call, I don't really like labels too much, but we need them, right, in order to find a vicinity, at least, of what we're talking about from the heart, our intentions, with our word choices and our tone. We do this, we learn this new stuff for a lot of different reasons. Much love, family, much love to you and yours. Good day, good day. It's Regina's Rabbit Hole. This is talk therapy. Also, you know, I'm your Sacred Craftsman. And I'm talking about how we got here. A lot of us study the sciences for different reasons, and we call it many different things. New Age, you know, to become enlightened, occult symbolism, you know, occultism, various different labels we have for things, right? Gnosticism. So while studying, people would tell me, Regina, you're into too many different things. Slow down. And they would hint around, or at least I thought they were hinting and not blatantly just telling me, chill. I didn't understand what they were getting at because their angle was different. See, I was born like this. Hello. Born like this. Born a little different, a little off. Tuned in different. And so the things that were happening to me were causing a lot of problems in my life. So I had to investigate why I am the way that I am. Hence the reason why I was trying to confirm things that were already happening and coming from the inside of me. So I started to seek around into the areas that are already existing. And saw the labels and places where I bumped into many of you, and you've bumped into me while we were learning various different things, right? So that's confusing when you hear the talk about how people shouldn't dibble and dabble and this and that. You know, I was told to stay away from certain things, but that was a place where I found my answer. It was the shadow side to the answer as to what was happening to me, right? For instance, if I didn't know anything about occult symbolism, I wouldn't have been able to verify that there had been influences in my life where that symbolism was used in a counterproductive way, right? Are you not supposed to know you're allergic to something? How do you find out you're allergic to something? Some of us have to try various different things so we can figure out, wait, I ate something and I'm not sure what it is. So we backtrack and we investigate our environment, our food, whatever it was that we put into our mouth. And our environment is another way that we ingest things. I was able to, after a while, identify sociology and the equations between addiction. I saw what Dr. Frances Scott Wessling was saying, right? I usually pronounce her name just a little bit off. You know, much love to our master teacher. But it went further than that for me. Like fear, right? And then looking at psychology and the dynamics of addiction and the kind of things that we drink over or use drugs over or eat over, or being able to transfer the regular concepts of addiction, right, to other areas like power and control. Just like our coffee pot is also a teapot, can also boil an egg, heat up some soup, distill some water, if you naga rig it, right? If you know what to do, and you can look at things in more than one dimension. So I started to see us as sick people, hurt people, hurt people. Our house is burning, master. We is sick. We is sick. You've infected me. You've infected us. Yes, you was the one in charge. You was the head nigga in charge, because you took great power and authority and used it in the most stupid, pitiful way. So use a nigger, use ignorant. And so now we's all sick. Yeah, we's all sick now, master. Get your masters and study more of the things to keep us sick and ego-driven and afraid to admit that we're sick so that we can't get well. So I saw all this, and I went through the gamut of psychology and a therapist, even to the point where I studied sociology and psychology and anthropology, right? Because I wanted to see a picture of how this thing works. And the whole time I was seeing a monster, a demon, but it had different faces. And we used many different words and labels to describe our sicknesses, our social sicknesses, you know, things that we co-sign. And so I was searching for the elusive, because our culture says pretty much the majority wins. It's a big bully, you know, bully. It's the consensus of the majority. But we weren't aware that some people are made to sway consciousness. We weren't even aware how consciousness worked, how we as a people, as an energy worked. And that's what I was looking at, okay? So I started looking at all these other sciences and stuff. And I started out there. And then it took a spiritual turn. And I saw how all these concepts and words and dogmas and how the relevance of these teachings were taught that way to steer society in a particular direction as an energy. So it didn't really matter whether it was good or bad or right or wrong. All that really mattered is that somebody with power and authority wanted it that way and had the means to do so. And by using technology and by using the weight of social consciousness could steer us into doing numerous amounts of things, like get the children to eat soap packs from the, you know, the soap packs, the soap pack challenge, from ice bucket challenge, you know, jerk us around, move us around, Why is it so important to keep certain people from thinking? Why did it elude us to realize that certain people are made to do the thinking and other people are initiation? Why were we not thinking about society in a different way? So while I was going nuts trying to figure this stuff out, using these different facilities like the psychiatrist, their medications, their theology, it wasn't adding up, and I remained sick and totally confused because all of it was a contradiction. It said one thing but did another, so it was backwards like the language. That led me into looking at it in a deeper way, and so I got into the etymology and ciphering and occult symbolism and stuff, and looking at religion in a different way behind the history and why his story was the way his story was in history. And where was her story? Where was her story? And we're hearing all his story, and we're hearing the contrast between different races crying about bigotry and slavery and unfair treatment. And so I'm seeing us compare ourselves to other things, but still leaving out the obvious, like women and food, you know? So I get to see the way that our mind works. And so this caused a problem in my interaction, just my awareness in general, that could really set your mind in a place that's uncomfortable. So I started to make things. And as I started to make things, I started to see even a deeper connection in between. It all starts with a thought and how we create things, and the reasons why behind we create things, and how color can affect why we use things, and the essence as to why we create things. And can't run away from just being myself. It never stopped. It always just kept going. So that's how I got here, because I was always asking questions since the time I was a child. I got here because it's my nature. I got here in the conscious community, so-called conscious community, for lack of other words to use, because I'm naturally inquisitive, and there was weird things happening, like I would hear voices, I would see spirits, and I would have to keep quiet about it because nobody else did that. I didn't even realize the relevance of keeping things like that bottled up inside. Childhood, I was too busy concentrating on the other things that they told us to pay attention to, like the abuses. You know what I'm saying? Comparing, pay attention to being black, or being abused because you're a woman, incest survivor, and things like that. Cultural stuff, you know, stuff relevant to my body, but I didn't realize the deeper stuff. The stuff in my essence, in my name. See, they tell us that you're not special. That story that all this weird stuff happens, alien encounters, or spirituality, or even Gandhi, or the guru, or the preacher, anybody that has access to deep spiritual knowledge, or even scientific things, like we saw Freud, and we saw Jung and psychology. We didn't see ourselves. And we also didn't realize the relevance, many of us, between seeing ourselves and being able to produce ourselves, see ourselves in it, and see ourselves in it. You know, the images of us doing it are a healing thing to our soul, because we're very visual people. So I was trying to learn about myself, and I was very confused. It wasn't okay to ask certain questions. It was still very taboo. So you had to go on a search, and a lot of times you had to search a roundabout. It's like when you do the math and you're trying to find what's not there. You're trying to find out how much something weighs that's not there, you know, or how much the space in the room is. Something elusive. You're trying to weigh something that other people don't even usually pay attention to. Okay. And being a woman, that was also really weird culturally. So I found a lot of things that I kept on the low. So you don't go around really telling people that you see spirits and you don't know what to do with them. And then you have a whole society that's telling you you're crazy for doing it. You're seeing all this stuff and you have no one to talk to. And you're told to concentrate on one aspect of your cultural relevance and not the other ones, like all this other stuff coming from your insides. So it took a long time, and it took years for me to be able to process the fact that I was just different and allowing myself to be different. I was just breaking a lot of, separately, like a lot of us, just breaking a lot of the cultural programming that keeps us sick, telling us that we have to stay in a particular area of thought. So even in the conscious community, where they were saying, stick to one or two things, not all over the place, I had to break those rules for myself also. Yeah. You know, I had to break those rules for myself and just follow my awareness. Because since I didn't know what I was looking for. I was following the synchronicity, following a voice inside of myself, following just freaking drawn, you know. Always been high energy and hearing things. And one day, while I was in the loony bin, believing their lies that I was crazy, and I had been taking their medication, and I had a cigarette break. They like to give you the cigarette breaks. They give you a cigarette break, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting out there looking at a tree, and doggone it, the tree was blowing, and clouds were going past the tree, and a voice was talking to me, and I thought it was the tree or the clouds, but it was just so freaking clear, and it said, they're going to kill you. They don't know what the freak they're doing. They're going to kill you if you keep listening to them. They're not going to help you. They're going to kill you. But it was weird because that was so 30 years ago. I wasn't aware at that time the difference between one voice or another voice. I didn't know how to distinguish voices. I was just trying to get rid of the voices because our culture told us that voices were evil, they were bad, that made you crazy. That you can't talk to the dead or things that you can't see, that was sinful, that was bad. That's what I was getting at. Stay away from that. Stay away from that. Leave that alone. But if it's a part of you, how can you leave yourself alone? You keep blocking yourself out. You keep cutting yourself off. I did everything to stop hearing. And I hope this isn't you out there, but if it is, you know, I really feel for you. I did everything to stop hearing things that were supposed to be natural to me. Fast forward 30 years later, 35 years later, it's really a pleasure to know that that's not so everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That not everybody is Not every society takes it upon themselves to block off the very spiritual freaking insight and voices that are supposed to help their society. Some of them actually are not afraid of their own help. You know what I'm saying? And will use people like myself as spiritual advisors, helpers, healers, inventors, many different things. You know what I'm saying? So sharing is caring, and the talk therapy to know that others out there like myself. It's like people comparing it to when people come out the closet and admit they're gay. People come out the closet and admit that they're spiritually inclined to hear things. Things come to you, information comes to you. They want to pin this freaking evil, horrible label on you. And the same people pinning this label on you are the same people's bending the dogmas and the knowledges and stuff, the sacred arts, and using it to control people, and don't want others to they don't want us to let each other know about it. They want us to be fearful of ourselves. Meanwhile, while we're sleeping and believing that they have your best interest in mind, you're locked up, drugged up, and getting effed up with no lube. No cushion at all. You don't even get a thank you. They just tell you you're crazy. So I'm very grateful to be alive at this time. Very grateful. I go through different times when it feels overwhelming, because I still go through a lot of spaces where I'm not aware entirely of what's happening to me, and I'm changing along with the times, along with the consciousness grid, along with your awakening. Something happens to me. I've been here for quite a long time. I don't know if I should have said it like that. I don't mean to be cocky, but I mean, I've been here. I've been here. And I've been seeing enough to see some patterns. And 7 years ago, the consciousness grid was different. It was quieter. About 2014, 2016, the noise that you guys make, oh my gosh, when you started coming on the set, consciousness, it does weigh. There is a change. I'm sure that people who've already been in it for like my mentors, if they can feel and they're connected to the same energetic potential of the consciousness grid, I can only imagine what they felt, when the group that I came in with woke up. There's more and more people waking up. And that's how, being able to actually feel that, I can feel the turning of the tide. I can actually feel us turning the tide. And that's a lot of the reason why I feel like I get attacked a lot. My consciousness and my ability to concentrate and connect with others. My energy runs different. And it's okay. I'm learning how to deal with that. I make things. I do things to help me deal with the energetic potential of my gifts. I like the colors and the materials. So ways to put some of the things that I was learning while I was searching for my answers into practical application was through crafts, not just crafts. I deal with embedding. I deal with our ancestral knowledge, Akashic records, interpreting our light code frequency in layman's terms. It's kind of orgasmic. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to this, but I know that I'm not evil, or for lack of better words, I'm not bad. As people say, there's no good or bad or right or wrong. Listen, these words are just crazy. I know that I'm what I'm supposed to be. And I know that my intentions are well, to be a healer, to make things whole, to convey message. You make your own choice what you do with it. That is not my fault. I know my design is this way because of the way that I was born. I am born on February 2nd, 1969 at 6:09. Yep. Groundhog's Day. In that weird space and time when there was just enough space for that shadow to slip through, I think I was born on one of those really weird days. One of those really weird times. And so anyway, now that we're waking up more, I'm feeling this energetic thing happening to me. And sometimes it's a little scary because I don't know who to ask. I don't know where to go. Stuff is just not really laying out there before you. Just like the information on my birth date wasn't just laying out there. I had to really hunt for that. And while hunting for that, I might have ended up with a lot of other miscellaneous information that stayed with me. And so I embedded it in the best way that I know how. Some of it is in the knowledge of my crafts. Okay. Like, all right. This is a stitch that I just recently learned, shell stitch. And those of us who know about mollusks and shells and Saturn and the rings and H2O and water, and how this information sort of gets you isolated, then you want to hug. Then you got to breathe, right? Then I think of colors, and the yellow reminds me of my sacral chakra, reminding me to breathe, and this world gets freaking insane. The practical application of the things around us and embedding, like our ancestors and the Akash, and using us, right? Our ancestral blood, our genetic makeup, even as a antenna, like a spoon or something, to be able to scoop up the light code frequencies and be able to convey them in a way that's holistic. I mean, we got a lot of people destroying stuff already. I figured the least that I could do if I had the choice to make, which I do, is to put some medicine in there. We got plenty of people screwing stuff up. I'll make the medicine. What the flip, right? By design. But I got the 69 real good. I have the upper and the lower crown. Thinking of more like a burden or a shadow or energetic potential. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to deal with it. Balance is key. So this is another blanket that I made, regular granny. This one is really soft. So I'm selling these. You can use them as places to pray, things to hug and hold. I use really good yarns. This one is very soft. So you could put it on the ground and sit on it, or cover up in it, or you could snuggle with it. Pretty colors. These are going to be 70. Figuring out things like shipping and handling is a pain in the butt for me. Getting a message from our ancestors, easy peasy. Giving you some miscellaneous information you didn't think that you needed, being able to pull it out from my Akash, easy. Figuring out how to balance the freaking shipping on this thing. Help! They say that, see, but I'm learning, I'm working. It's difficult at times when I resist, but looking at universal law and the way it works, sometimes we have these issues to keep us humble or to make us reach out, so that we have to depend on others, so that we have to work together, so that we have to figure out that puzzle and how. Yeah, so with my strange type of energy and all of us still waking up, it's like I'm waiting for this road to kind of fall out before I take the steps. I can't step before the crowd, you know what I'm saying, the group. Like there has to be a need there, or a recognized need there. Anyway, the alchemy has to be right. That's what I'm trying to say. On these parallel dimensions that I'm seeing from, I'm learning things sometimes that are not even yet there. Like there's no place for them yet. Or it's very difficult to explain, so I'm really not even going to try to do that right now. This is another blanket that I made. This one is more heavier. And you see the greens and the blues on this one. I really like this one a lot too. So, yeah, so the crafts, because I don't ask, like I've been giving out information and making videos for years, and I normally don't ask for donations or help or anything. I work at getting better at what I do. And as we wake up and recognize our own value and benefit, I know that I've done my job well, okay? That's how I measure that. In the same way that I can see and measure the energetic potential of our awakening, people looking up certain things on the consciousness level can be felt. As I felt it when you showed up, I'm sure that others felt it when I showed up, right? So we are moving stuff, and stuff is changing. It's just when, and really trusting in our Creator, right? And our ancestral lineage, and a light code frequency, and ourselves. Because our world is constructed of all this stuff that we thought we really needed and wanted, even if it was by consent. By consent, we can change it. By consent, we accepted it. By consent, we can remove it, right? It is possible. It is possible. It is happening. You can feel it happening. You can see it happening. You know exactly what I'm talking about, or you wouldn't still be here. Check these out. And these are some angel wings. It's like a light peachy color to these. I really like. Okay, so these earrings are like 10 bucks. I also make other earrings, but that box is downstairs. I'm not getting it right now. Those are crystals. I have crystals downstairs. These are glass and totems. So I have the angel wings. I actually, you know what? I made these and I did Pandora's box, and the energy was not right. And so I made all these earrings I made these earrings a year ago. I never sold any of them. I've given a few away, but the circumstances and energy was not right for me to sell them. I had went to an event, the event to sell them, and things were just totally wrong. I had a targeted individual experience that I'm not going to go into right now. But if you listen to the targeted individual, which falls under the human trafficking stuff, you could probably figure out what happened if it's important to you. I don't want to make it that important to me, because we're building the future, and that's the past, and we're still here. It's also the balance of energies and what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? What to teach and what not to teach, and how our energies work. Yeah, so I've been here kind of in the background using the knowledges and stuff, embedding things for you, for us, for our children, because, yeah, they're killing us. They're putting a hurting on us. I've been taking a whooping. Energy is running backwards and upside down. And so some of us, probably like you, have taken it upon ourselves to be the change we want to see, right? More angel wings. These purple and black. Can you see that? So yeah, what I was saying is getting my energy to work correctly when it comes to currency. And this way, money. Not currency in this way, we cool. I've got too much freaking energy coming this way, and I'm like trying to get it to be reciprocal. I'm actually having difficulty right now holding on to all the stuff coming in, which is the reason why I try to push it out the best way that I can. And we haven't gotten to the place yet where I can just ask somebody without the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? To figure out how to stabilize all this. And I believe that it's past moringa leaf. This is some different stuff. This is spiritual stuff. Like I'm fucking gonna pop off, you know what I'm saying? And just keeping a balance. Like I can see why certain gurus and stuff have environments where they're just up in the mountains, and the Buddhist monks are isolated where they're humming and chanting, and they safeguard their environments for tranquility, harmony, love, in order to keep their harmony, the frequency, undisturbed, because it gets real. And so wouldn't say that it was because I dipped into things that I have this issue, because this issue is a direct response to the energies that are already present on the planet, because it's my genetic makeup to respond to it. But I'm not by myself. I respond to it as a community that's also sleeping, if you get what I mean, and waking up as to our responsibilities and our grown-upness. I really like these. Blue. Oh, they look so pretty in the light. Can you see them? And I love using glass beads, because the glass beads are for people with big kahunas. People who recognize, like the Indians, where they'll put one little bead in their a purpose to show how perfection is in being able to appreciate the differences, the variances in life, you know? the non-perfections, that if everything was exactly the same, that wouldn't be perfect at all. But who had idea was that? Mass production. No chink in the armor. It's the chink that makes the armor belong to you. Shoot. If everybody has, that's the first thing you do. If everybody gets the exact same freaking tool or jacket, you're going to want to do something to distinguish it, right? Besides, beyond the size. If everybody was the same size, even. Put a letter on there, or put a scratch on there, or rip the tag out, something to be able to say that that's yours, right? Do you remember when you fell off your bike when you were 10 years old? Did you learn how to ride it better after that? Did you watch out for holes in the road or rocks? Did you try to do that, Willie? Did it make or break you? Do you remember? That was a chink. That was a chink. Are we looking at it the right way? What did it do? The mistakes that I've made in life have helped me to want to get better. There's some things that have made me more inclined to do worse, but I'm working on it, like my connection with people. I've had a lot of bad experiences with people. And I keep working on it, changing my energy and trying to figure out what's going on. I keep trying to figure a way to correct myself. Figure out the way that this works. And yeah, so I think by way of universal law, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, especially when I look at human design. Sometimes we just have to wait and be our best selves and know that all is well. You know what I'm saying? The big kahuna's the big kahuna, and it's good. Sit still and know that I am God. You know what I'm saying? Sit still and know that everything is going to be okay. From the R to the L. Aquarius is going to be well. Because we're a water sign. Okay. So, I have things like dragonflies, which remind me how things come and go, and the mystery, and the aerodynamics, how mysteriously dragonflies and hummingbirds are, the way they fly. Amazing, right? Embedding. Okay? So when you get these things, I've been meditating on this stuff. It has a meaning behind it. If it has a meaning for you, it's kind of like your own synchronicity. You pick something that speaks to you. Oh. So I don't really ask for donations and stuff, although I guess I should have been asking. I mean, am I dumb for not asking? You know, or am I okay for not asking? It's not a righteous thing. I'm just trying to balance the energy. You know what I'm saying? It's between me and the Creator, knowing that I'm a representative of you. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in this space here, waiting on us to figure out what we're going to do next. Well, what we going to do with it next? What does it do? I don't know. Spin it around. Flip it upside down. Put some sugar on it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You know? We will figure it out because we are a community. Can't do any of this alone. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got the ship to go there, you couldn't get anybody to get out or do anything if they didn't want to. You still need the cooperation, right? I like the sound that some of these make too. I've made bells too. I don't have my bells on right now. Yeah, the bell. La la. Tabella. You know they eat people? No, okay. Just forget about that one right now. Orange is orange is a cleansing color. Yeah, negative messages. That's how they eat people. You know? They chew us up and spit us out, telling us what we're not capable of and what we should not be doing. What we are not supposed to be. Stay away from that. Smack your hands. Leave that alone. It's evil. It's bad. Orange is a really nice cleansing color. And all the while, that may be the very thing that we need to make ourselves well. Fire can burn down a house, or it can keep a village warm. It can stifle and burn out a disease, or it can grow a plant of the heat. You know what I'm saying? The essence of fire, light. It's like our words, right? Our ideas can grow something or starve it out. You know what I'm saying? Like this orange color. It's for cleansing. And also these, the shapes, you know, like a diamond, like the Taurus shape. And when the light hits these, they look different. I also like the play on the light with the beads and stuff that I use. So, feel free to buy a pair of earrings for $10. Drop me something in the inbox, you know what I'm saying? And that helps me to be able to give more of myself to you. And there is so much more that I can be doing, but I need to be more stabilized. I also need to fix this issue that I have between the way my energy is flowing. And my environment has to change. That's part of the problem, is the environment that I'm in. So commerce is important. So I don't want to just ask people to donate. I would like you to buy a pair of earrings, and if you see that you like a blanket, $70 for the blanket, that might have just taken care of the cost for the yarn. You know, keeps me in yarn. Occasionally a little bit more, depending on what kind of yarn I use. But that helps me to also encourages me. It encourages me. We want to encourage each other. It encourages my value in you. Yeah, in you. Yeah, you're not just funky people watching, like they said the world is, that we don't appreciate each ourselves and we don't know our own values and we didn't truly wake up. We're just following a fad and a trend. See, the proof is in the pudding and what we do for each other and how we really treat each other. So instead of getting mad about it, foaming at the mouth and getting angry, I'm going to talk to you. Because I'm talking to myself. I'm going to talk myself out of this space. Just be honest with you about what I'm dealing with. Okay? So I got all this energy still coming in. And I feel like I don't even know how I'm going to handle it. I don't even know who I'm going to talk to about it. I don't even know where to start. I hold on to a crystal and do some breathing and crochet something else. Maybe make a pair of earrings. Maybe do some talk therapy. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's really going to ground me is my relationship between me and the energies, because that's what we are made of. That's what I've been doing. But that also tells me that I need to make a better connection between you and I. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm learning. Just like you're learning. Just like we are growing. That's how we got here. and Regina's rabbit hole, doing talk therapy. This is like my Qigong too, right? My Qi energy, my creative energy, and my Qigong, Qi, and I'm ringing my bell. Ding, bong, Qigong, Qigong, Qigong. From the heart, from the heart. Okay, so that's all I got for right now. Much love to you and yours. Hope this was good for you. Please, it's not really that hard. Don't inbox me about booty, you know, or, you know, I do a lot of research and my brain be on so many different topics, putting them in categories and doing all kinds of other stuff that's not even ready yet. You know what I'm saying? We're getting ready. The road, we're meeting the road for us. You know what I'm saying? You got something that's going to meet what it is that I'm doing, and I'm preparing it to, at least that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like when the light comes down and there needs to be something there to catch it, for it to spew out whatever the good stuff was that was in there, whether it was a plant, whether it was you, okay? Whether it was a song or a book that you made with it or a meal, we don't know, because it all starts with a thought. Much love to you and yours. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole. Thank you for being with me, family. I'm out.